doing my best to make you part of Versus the Rest.
All right. Welcome back to Versus the Rest. This is Phil. I got a short video for us today. A small interview to Robert F. Kennedy.
You say that you're a Democrat, but you're getting a lot of support from a lot of leading voices on the right, like Steve Bannon, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, former President Donald Trump. Many Democrats fear that you're a spoiler in the race, that you will damage President Biden in the primary and grease the skids for former President Trump to return to the Oval Office.
Big deal. I mean, I think that most people they just don't see clear today, but it's seriously like Trump is like right wing. Not exactly. I mean, the closest politician I can find to Trump is Bill Clinton, and he was a Democrat. And I mean, maybe because like leftists, like people. I was always hearing when I was young that, oh, when you get older, you get towards the right and everything. And it's like, yeah, yes and no. It's more that the left just becomes more extreme. So you're always like being pushed right, even if you still feel as if you're there's progressivism that is to be done. But anyway.
This week, former President Trump said about you, Kennedy is smart and he's a common sense guy.
True.
What kind of man do you think Donald Trump is?
Well, you know, here's what I'm not going to do in this race.
Demonize.
Attack other people personally. I don't think it's good for our country.
Good.
And I think, you know, what I'm trying to do in this race is bring people together, is to try to bridge the divide between Americans. And guess
Makes
what?
you better than Trump.
You know, when my dad died and we took this train ride from, you know, this 7.5-hour train ride that was supposed to be 2 hours. And I was with him when he died in Los Angeles. And then we brought his body from New York, Penn Station to Union Station and Washington, D.C. And it was a 2.5-hour ride, but it took 7.5 hours because there were 2.5 million people on that train track. And it was the cross-section of America and all of the major urban stations in Trenton, Newark, Wilmington, and Baltimore. There were Black Americans singing Battle Hymn of the Republic. There were whites in the rural areas who are holding up signs, "Goodbye, Bobby," "Pray for us, Bobby," American flag, standing, saluting. 4 years later, and they had supported my father in the primaries in 1968. 4 years later, in 1972, they were not supporting my father, and they were not supporting George McGovern, who was aligned with my father on all these issues. Instead, the vast majority of them were supporting George Wallace. And, you know, my father was able to harness these populist energies. In the last day of his life, he won the most rural state in this country, South Dakota, and the most urban. He was able to bridge the divide among people who would otherwise be Republican, but wanted somebody who was common sense, who was able to appeal to their idealism, who was able to find the hero in each of them, who was able to get them to transcend narrow self-interest and see themselves as part of a community and part of this, you know, incredible American adventure in modeling self-governance for the rest of the world. And so I'm proud that President Trump likes me, even though I don't agree with him on most of his issues. Because I don't want to alienate people. I want to bring people together. I'm proud that all these people like me and that I have independent supporters and Democratic supporters, and that I'm able to bring a lot of people. You know, every Democrat says, I want to end the polarization. But how do you do that without talking to people who don't agree with you?
Yes.
How do you do that without appealing to people, without... My purpose is to find the issues, the values that we have in common, rather than focus on the issues and the personalities that keep us all apart.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnation.com.
Wow,
to find
that's really the contrary of what like the usual mainstream media wants, like divide and conquer. It's completely the contrary. Just that makes him like a danger. He's a danger to our democracy. That's what I feel. I don't know if they're going to let him even debate Biden. That would be a sight to see. He's going to crush him. his demeanor ain't perfect. I guess he's got like some kind of speech issue, but I mean, everything he says usually is like full of common sense, as he was told, as he is being characterized by Donald Trump. I think it's good. Like politicians should like work together for the people and not against each other. So I think he's got a good attitude. I don't know if it's the attitude that politicians want around them, but he's really in the right direction of, making making people believe in democracy again. There's too many people, especially the people that are awakened. They don't like believe in at all in democracy. I understand their position, but I mean, I still think it's a tool that can be used, even if it's not like the magic tool that fixes everything. It's like if you got nails, you need a hammer, and not all problems are nails. But like democracy is just part of a tool set, and it's best to use it in the best way possible, because it's I think any way you look at it, it's a useful tool. May it be in other than the totalitarian government, like even in an anarchy, you still want to have a deal of democracy, because there's no anarchy without compromise. So at every level of ideas that you may have for your own economy, government, or whatever, or non-government, you're still going to need to use democracy in one way or the other. So all right, that's what I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you subscribe and that you come back again to leave a comment and whatever. All right, see you. Bye-bye.